Hello, and welcome to episode 24 of the Roll Jump Media Podcast. I am joined by my recurring panelists, Jose and Luis. Good morning, guys. How is it going?
Hello, good morning. Good morning. It's been good. It's been good. We have a ton to talk about.
Yes, we do have a ton to talk about. Last week we did not have a podcast, so this one, with everything that went on, this one's going to be a doozy. Before before we get into everything, there's actually a lot of things. First, let me give an overview of what we're going to be talking about as the main course of our podcast. We're going to be talking about the Animal Crossing Fall Update, the PS5 Showcase from last week, Xbox acquiring Zenimax Media, the next gen pre-order chaos that's been happening, Amazon Luna, Tokyo Game Show 2020 highlights so far, September 17th, Nintendo Direct Mini Partner Showcase, uh, Super Mario 3D All Stars review roundup, and a bunch more. But before we get into all of that craziness that's been happening lately, today is the Last of Us Day. I checked on Twitter. Today is the Last of Us Day, so shout out to the Last of Us.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Yeah, it is. I saw that on Twitter.
And
Indeed.
there was also Age of Calamity information that dropped very early in the morning, and thankfully one of our panelists did catch it. So I wanted to give the floor over to him to say what he saw and yeah, just what he saw and how did it look.
For the presentation, they went over some gameplay. They showed gameplay from for Link and Impa, uh, and they showed like a cutscene in between the gameplay. And I mean, I don't know. It looks really good. Looks really fun. um, I'm really excited to play uh, and find out like what happened like before, like the story behind Hyrule's destruction. Um, but yeah, like I was really surprised how it looked. Like it looked really well. Um,
Hmm.
yeah,
Okay.
so I feel like they might be using like the same engine they use for Breath of the Wild, yeah, but it looks really cool. Yeah. I think tomorrow they're gonna show another portion of gameplay using another playable character.
Oh, that
I don't
sounds
know if
hype.
I'll see that.
That sounds
I don't
hype.
know if I'll see that, but yeah, it sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, we're what two months away, a little bit, um,
Yeah.
to be able to play that game, and I'm hyped.
Sick. It sounds promising. All right. So after that little bit of an update from Luis. Sorry, guys. Let's go ahead and move on to what we've been playing. All right, so since we have a lot to go over, we're going to keep it more concise than we usually do, and we'll go on the usual order. So, Luis, once again, you can take over.
So for my in my 2DS, I've been playing. I've been trying the Monster Hunter Stories uh, demo.
I also tried it. I also tried it, so we can have a back and forth.
Yeah, so I mean, it's an RPG. I think it's very Pokemon-ish um, in certain aspects.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's the usual like JRPG, like you have side quests going on, and then you have like the main story going on. It's really cool. I liked it. From what I played, I really liked it. I'm considering maybe like getting like the physical copy for it, just to
Oh,
continue the
cool.
story. Uh, and I mean, it goes back to the whole Monster Hunter Stories 2 trailer. I mean, that look, and we're gonna be talking about that like later on. But like, it looked really cool, so it made me
Hmm.
interested in playing the demo for the first one. Um, and then for the Switch, I've been playing uh, Super Mario 64 um, for the 3D All Stars game
Yeah,
that came out last week,
yeah. Last Friday.
and it's been really fun. Going back to that game. I don't know, like for some reason I feel like it's not as hard as let's say Sunshine or even Galaxy. It's like the first 3D Mario, and I don't know. To me, it's very addictive. It's very addictive to going back to the world and get all the stars and just keep going on. And,
Okay.
but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool. 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 All right, Jose, you're up next.
Well, for me, it's pretty much the same thing. I've been playing Animal Crossing. Um, there's a there was a new update recently. Well, it's not really. Well, it is an update. The season changed, so um, there's acorns and pine cones to pick up more recipes. And then there's an update coming up, which we'll talk about in a bit. But
Yeah.
we have been playing that. I was telling Luis, I'm thinking of playing Donkey Kong Country too. Um, just because that game in particular was part of our childhood growing up, um, which is weird. We didn't really play the first Donkey Kong Country, um, but we did play the second one, and that one is top notch. So I wanna go back to
Mm.
that game and hopefully pass it. Because I don't think as a kid I don't think I ever passed the game. So maybe you know now as an adult I'm able to do that. And then just hopefully pass that before the end of October because we all know what's coming um, by the end of October. Pikmin, of course.
I was gonna say
Um,
Watch Dogs,
no,
just a
it's
troll.
Pikmin.
All
But yeah, that's what we're looking forward to.
right, I hear that, man. Donkey Kong Country, that's a good series. It's like when I think of video games, I think of that's like one of the first ones I think of. Like, it's really good. All right, so as for me, I played a lot, probably close to an obscene amount of Final Fantasy 14 this past week. That was because my subscription was about to run out, and I really wanted to finish the story up to the current patch. And with minutes to spare, I did like 30 minutes or so. um, yeah, everything that I said about this game, I've already said before. It's an amazing game. Anything that you want from a video game, you'll find in Final Fantasy 14, including the amazing story. So if you haven't tried the free trial, I do encourage you to try the free trial. It's like three games in one, just off of a free trial. So give it a shot if you haven't. Also, what else have I been playing? I've been playing the 3D All Stars collection as well. Mostly Sunshine. I also played a little bit of Galaxy like last week during the stream and everything. So for Sunshine, I just wanted to point out that it's easier to do one maneuver, the shotgun blast water, which is really nice. But the thing is that the camera is non-inverted now instead of inverted, which is a problem if you played the original and you played it a lot. Your muscle memory is going to betray you many times, and I still haven't gotten used to it after like 2 hours or so of gameplay. So we'll see how that goes. And for Galaxy, I remember fondly, but I always thought that I wouldn't enjoy it that much if I went back to it. But going back to it last week, I am happy to say that I am wrong. Galaxy is a phenomenal game. It controls wonderfully. The environments and music are top notch. I also played a bit of 64. 64 is good. I haven't been as addicted to my panelist is to 64, but maybe I'll give it more of a shot to see if that starts to click with me. And then lastly, I wanted to point out Valkyria Chronicles Remastered. I did play the tutorial of that game, and um, that game kind of gives me a not that they're too similar, but Xenoblade Chronicles kind of vibe. Valkyria Chronicles, Xenoblade Chronicles. So I guess they're bound to be kind of similar to each other in a sense. But I want to compare them because they have an anime aesthetic, but they don't go full anime. Like they tell a compelling story without adhering too much to the tropes. And it's also kind of like a strategy game as well as a third person shooter kind of deal. So if you had fun like Fire Emblem, the most recent Fire Emblem on the Switch, I think that Valkyria Chronicles is a good game for you to try as well. But
I mean,
yeah.
you talked about that franchise before as well.
Oh yeah, yeah, true. I have talked about it before. And I guess I did play also Stories on my 3DS. Monster Hunter Stories. I did like it a lot. I like how they put the moves that you do in actual Monster Hunter. It's kind of like
Yeah,
your attacks as a human, as the main character, and then you have your monster next to you doing its own thing. So people say it's just like a rock paper scissors mechanic, which it is, but
it
you
is.
have to have knowledge of your matchup, and it makes it more than that, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's more strategy to it
Yeah,
once you get into it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's what I've been playing. A good selection of games, dabbling in a little bit of a lot of things, I guess. I'm also thinking about playing Majora's Mask on my 3DS, but we'll see if I actually go through with that. All right, so are you guys ready to move on to the ample news that we have for last week and this week?
Lego.
Okay, let's do this. All right, so let's go ahead and do our mentions. So we're gonna go ahead and rattle off a bunch of stuff that happened during the week that we're not gonna go too in depth about. The first thing, Assassin's Creed and Splinter Cell games are coming in VR. That is coming from Nick Stat and Addy Robertson from The Verge. So those Splinter Cell and Assassin's Creed games are coming. Uh, we have Valhalla coming, but there's also going to be a VR one coming as well. Also,
But
Spelunky 2 has been getting a lot of great reviews. It got an 88 top critic average and a 94% of critics recommending it on OpenCritic. And IGN had this to say about Spelunky 2. It gave it a perfect 10 out of 10. Spelunky 2 is a masterpiece of procedurally generated platforming that stays true to the legendarily challenging original while also holding surprises around every corner. So, have you guys heard about Spelunky 2? Did this come as a surprise to you both?
I've heard of the franchise like Spelunky and Spelunky 2.
Yeah.
I remember hearing good things about the first one, that it was a pretty good game. So I'm not really that surprised that it's doing good this time around with Spelunky 2.
Yeah, definitely. And in other news, Mafia Definitive Edition came out. It has a 80 top critic average and a 94% of critics recommending it on OpenCritic. Mafia is a Prohibition era GTA-like game. This is what the reviews had to say about it. IGN gave it a 8 out of 10. Mafia Definitive Edition is oozing with 1930s atmosphere. Let me start that over. Oozing with 1930s atmosphere, Mafia Definitive Edition is a successful rejuvenation of the best story in the series, and PC Gamer gave it a 79 out of 100. They say it is a decent, if unremarkable, cover shooter, elevated by artful scene setting and memorable set pieces. So Mafia Definitive Edition as well has been getting pretty high amounts of praise as well. So good on those two games for coming out to pretty good fanfare, I would say.
Yeah, I mean Mafia as well, right? When it first came out, it was people praised it a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Good
not surprising.
vibes. Good vibes. All right. So additionally, we were going to cover this last week. Michel Ancel has retired from video games via his official Twitter. And then I also tricked Twitter today, and unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but if this happens, then it's good to expose it. But supposedly he's been accused of having toxic leadership within Ubisoft, so we'll see how that develops.
Yes,
Yeah. So Michel Ancel is the creator of Rayman, Rabbids, and Beyond Good and Evil, according to Tom Phillips at Eurogamer. He's been working on video games for more than 30 years and says his new project takes place in the real world and consists of a wildlife open sanctuary dedicated to education, nature lovers, and wild animals. Many, and this is what he said about video games. Many of you might want to know what will happen to Wild and Beyond Good and Evil 2. No worries, since many months now the teams are autonomous and the projects are going super well. Beautiful things to be seen soon. So yeah, so no more Michel Ancel at Ubisoft. He's going to be focusing on his own endeavors now.
That's good. Yeah, at least the projects, the like Beyond Good and Evil 2 are still intact. They're still going on. But it's gonna be interesting to see what Ubisoft, um, what they do with the Rayman franchise
Oh yeah,
going
yeah,
forward.
definitely.
So we'll just have to.
Um, I know that Jose is interested in Rayman. You played a Rayman before, correct, Jose?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is it? Rayman Legends. No? Um, it's a really fun game, actually. I feel like it's very underrated. Um, but I mean, I, when I first heard the news, um, I couldn't really be mad at the guy because he was pursuing something different, something that he actually wanted to do. But I mean, I hadn't heard about these reports that he was very toxic, I guess, in the workplace. So I mean, that's kind of discerning to hear. Um,
Yeah, we'll see if it leads somewhere, but even, accusations like that do, keep you on
yeah,
edge a little, yeah.
but yeah, I mean, hopefully, I mean, I don't think it's gonna be the end of the franchise, but it's gonna be interesting to see where it goes from here now, or how it grows.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
hmm And as a side note, those quotes were from his official Twitter account. In additional news, Kirby Fighters 2 just dropped out of nowhere this week. What Kirby Fighters 2 is, this is a description from the official Nintendo website. Choose from a cast of Kirby's most iconic copy abilities, including the brand new wrestler ability, and duke it out with the to be the last Kirby standing. Familiar friends and foes like Bandana Waddle Dee, the King DDD, also make an appearance as playable characters in the Kirby Fighters 2 game, available exclusively for the Nintendo Switch. For this game, you can play locally or online. So yeah, that just dropped on us. Are you guys interested in playing it? Will you give it a try? I think it's like $20 if I'm not mistaken. I didn't check the price.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm interested. I think it's kind of funny though, because I believe Nintendo is the one that kind of leaked it.
For
Um,
real?
it was kind of unplanned. Yeah, I think they posted it on their website, and people noticed. And I think this happened on Wednesday. Um, I think it was like 2 days before the actual like the game was revealed and announced and
Mm,
everything.
okay.
So I think it was kind of rushed. I don't know if it was planned for them to reveal it um, when they did, but um, but yeah, I'm right off the bat. Like a lot of people started comparing it to Super Smash Brothers, which is kind of funny because I mean Kirby was made by the same guy who did Super Smash Brothers, so it makes sense. Um, but yeah, as far as playing the game, I'm not really. I don't know. It's not my type of game. I mean, I already have enough with Super Smash Brothers, and
Yeah.
even that I barely play. So, but I mean, it looks good for Kirby fans.
Yeah, I am of a similar mind. That was kind of hard for me to articulate there. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next thing. 15 developers on Skullgirls and Indivisible form a new studio called Future Club. This is from Rebecca Valentine from GameIndustry.biz. So this comes shortly after many staff left Lab Zero, which are the developers of Skullgirls, because the studio owner Mike Zamont's alleged abusive and inappropriate behavior. Because of him, a lot of people just straight up just resigned from the studio, Lab Zero, and shortly after, everyone else was let go. The reason, so a little bit of extra details from the senior animator Jonathan Kim. The team Lab Zero, they wanted to have full equity, everybody to be equal partners, and one step in that process was to make Mike Zaimont, which was the active owner at the time, or was not the owner at the time, but he was part of the development team, I believe. They made him the owner in order for them to eventually achieve, equal partnership. But unfortunately, he did not make that happen for the team, and they ended up leaving, and 15 of them made their own studio called Future Club. So keep an eye out on the development studio. They're probably going to make a pretty amazing game, so keep an eye out, basically. And in more news about game studios, co-founder of Blizzard, Mike Morhaime, is starting a new game studios, Moonshot Games and Secret Door, and a publishing company, Dreamhaven, and that's coming from Seth Sheasel from the Washington Post. Just pretty exciting stuff. More Blizzard for studios from Blizzard veterans seems pretty enticing. And we're getting close to the end of the smaller news, but three Metal Gear games and Konami Collector Series Castlevania and Contra are on PC. This is from Fraser Brown from PC Gamer. Konami has finally released a digital edition of Metal Gear Solid for PC, along with Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance and the original 1987 Metal Gear. You can grab them on GOG.
Yeah, that's I saw that as well. It's really cool. And it's funny because I haven't played like the first the first Metal Gear uh, games, so this is a cool opportunity for people who haven't dwelled into the franchise to play some of the games.
Yeah, yeah. I still have to get on the boat with Metal Gear, man. I have to figure out what's going on with this series. Why is everybody in love with it? I gotta take your word, Luigi.
It's amazing.
Yeah, you too, Jose. You with me? Yeah. Also, additional detail. Taylor Lyles from The Verge. He says that this might not be the best way to play the first two Metal Gear Solid entries. There are other ways that are more optimized or a better playing experience. But it's on PC, and if you want to experience these games, by all means, you should go for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, in additional news, Yakuza is getting a live adaptation, and as well, Shenmue is getting an anime, and that's coming from Dava McNary from Variety and Michael McWhorter from Polygon. So, Yakuza live adaptation and Shenmue anime. It's pretty cool.
Well, yeah, I saw that. That was I was who was it? I saw a tweet. I don't know. I don't remember who it was that said, I can't wait to see um the Yakuza have like most of the actors being white or something like that.
Oh,
But
got you.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I mean that's really cool too for them too. Well, especially with like the Shenmue anime,
Hmm.
for them to expand on that world. You know.
Yeah, I'm totally down to watch it when it comes out. I'm in day one. If I can watch it in some maybe Netflix or Hulu, wherever it's at, I'm gonna be looking for it.
Yeah. I mean, you're are you a fan of Shenmue?
No, I ended up not playing the games.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wouldn't consider myself a fan, but I'm interested in the lore.
Right.
Yeah. Also, Rocket League went free to play. Have you
Oh
guys
yeah.
played Rocket League, or are you guys interested in playing it now
Uh,
since it's free?
I played it. I played a little bit. when was it? Like in 2015, 2016, around that time.
Yeah, I think that's when it
And
came out, like around that
yeah,
time.
when it first came out,
Hmm.
I played some of it, and I mean, it was such a. I remember playing it, and I remember it like blew up, and a lot of people were talking about it, and it sort of became like this big game, especially like in the esports scene. I remember
Hmm.
playing it, and it was interesting because I mean, it's like you're playing soccer with a little car, but yeah, I saw that it went free to play, and I mean that's great. It gives the opportunity for other people to play it. Um, I think well, Marcos, uh, our little brother, he he downloaded over what was it, like 2 days ago,
Hmm.
and he was playing a little bit, and I don't know, I might delve into it a little bit just to try it out again. But yeah, I mean it's really cool. It's a fun game.
Yeah. I'm down to do some co-op, man. Some online cooperative play. Get that going. I'm
Yeah,
down for that.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And it's one of those games, that really it's like it's one of those games to play with your friends.
Yeah.
So
In. And the last, well, actually two more small details. One's a little bit bigger than the other, but the Tribeca Film Festival will now honor games. According to Wikipedia, Tribeca, the Tribeca Film Festival, was founded by Robert De Niro and Jane Rosenthal. And wait, how many people? Robert De Niro, Jane Rosenthal, and Craig Hatkoff in 2001. So now they're introducing a game section to the film festival, and the Game Awards creator Jeff Keighley, Kiki Wolfkill, and Hideo Kojima are among those who will shape the presence at the gaming fest. And that's coming from Trilby Beresford from the Hollywood Reporter. So video games are getting additional representation elsewhere, which is nice.
yeah, that's really cool.
Yep.
But I wonder if they'll if they'll just focus on video games who are very narrative driven.
Ooh,
Yeah,
maybe. Mm.
because I don't see them. I don't know, like honoring like a Mario, or
Yeah.
a Tetris or something like that, where there's no story involved or that much story involved. So it's gonna be interesting to see how what they do.
Yeah, definitely. And the last story before we get into the bigger ones, um, Amazon Luna was announced. So Amazon announced their own cloud gaming service, and the details I have are from the official website and from Andrew Webster from The Verge. This is a quote that they say about Amazon that Amazon says about their service. Introducing Luna, Amazon's cloud gaming service where it's easy to play great games on devices you already own. No waiting for lengthy downloads or updates, just play. So how this is going to work, it seems, is that there's going to be a thing called channels, and the two channels that they have announced so far are Luna Plus and Ubisoft. So right now, this Ubisoft one is coming soon, but the one that they're showcasing right now is Luna Plus. And what that offers you is unlimited hours of play, a growing library of games, up to 1080p 60 frames per second with 4K coming soon. You can stream on two devices at a time, and you can play on PC, Mac, Fire TV, and web apps for an iPhone and iPad for $5.99 a month. That's the early access pricing, $5.99 a month. And some of the games that they're offering right now, or they have on their website that are being shown off, are Control, Sonic Mania, Resident Evil 7, Biohazard, Metro Exodus, and a bunch of other ones that are pretty interesting. So they say they're gonna expand their selection as it goes, and I'm not sure if all those games are gonna be there for the early access thing or whatever. But this is what they're showing off on their website. So Stadia is getting some competition, it seems.
Yeah, it's not that surprising for me, that these uh, giant corporations, are getting into the whole streaming business.
Yeah,
And so yeah, I mean it's gonna be interesting, because like their direct competition is probably gonna be Google and Google Stadia. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they try to up each other, and so on. So
yeah,
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 we'll see how it goes.
yeah. We'll see, we'll see.
And do you see the controller for Luna? It's basically a Switch Pro controller. So.
For real, I saw the little purple button in the begin or the purple outline in the middle.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah. A
looks
lot of
kind of
people
cool.
were like, they were memeing on it, but
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, you can go that direction, or you can go to the Steam controller direction, where it just looks weird and nobody is kind of down for it.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the juicy. I did the same thing last like 2 weeks ago, huh? With the juicy. Let's just forget
Yeah.
about it. Let's get into the news. All right, so first thing, Among Us 2 has been canceled so that the developers can focus on Among Us. So I have a quote from the developers right here. So let's go ahead and see what they have to say. Us devs have had several long discussions about what we want to do with the game. When do we start working on Among Us 1? What content goes into Among Us 2? The main reason we are shooting for a sequel is because the code base of Among Us 1 is so outdated and not built to support adding so much new content. However, seeing how many people are enjoying Among Us 1 really makes us want to be able to support the game and take it to the next level. We have decided to cancel Among Us 2 and instead put all of our focus into improving Among Us 1. All of the content we had planned for Among Us 2 will instead go to Among Us 1. This is probably the more difficult choice because it means going deep into the core code of the game and reworking several parts of it. We have lots of things planned and we're excited to bring new content to everyone as you continue to enjoy playing. And here are some of the things they said are on the horizon. They're going to be working on the servers. They're going to be adding colorblind support. There's going to be a revamped friends and account system, and they're going to be adding a new stage. They also have a lot of other things planned too, and they say to stay tuned. So the Among Us devs are just putting their all into into this game to make sure everybody has a good experience. It seems. How do you guys feel about Among Us? Do you feel like this is the right move, or
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Jose.
Yeah, I think it's a good call for them to not rush into, putting out a sequel, especially since, the original one has gained traction. So I think it's pretty smart for them. And I mean, based on, the things that they listed that they were planning on bringing in,
yeah,
it seems like there's a lot of potential still left for the game. So it's exciting to see where they're going with this. I mean, it's actually really nice to see like some random, unknown game kind of gaining that attention and becoming, you know, a pretty popular game. So yeah, we'll see what they have in store for us, and hopefully it, you know, grows into something bigger.
yeah. My sentiments too. My sentiments echo yours. So I'm gonna keep an eye on it. Among Us is really fun. You know, the few times we played, shenanigans inbound every time. All right, so Animal Crossing Fall Update. Y'all ready for this?
We've been ready.
We've been ready. We've been waiting for this. All right, so I have details from IGN's fall update and Halloween event page that they have on their wiki guide. Here are some details. The update is going to be coming on September 30th. The Halloween event will run from 6 p.m. to midnight on October 31st. Everyone is going to be gathering at the plaza at 5 p.m. You're going to be able to grow pumpkins. You can stock up on candy, purchase costumes. You can have access to body paint, colored eye context. You can learn Halloween DIYs. Neighbors will wear costumes on Halloween. You're also going to get a new visitor on Halloween called Jack, and there's going to be activities associated with him. You can scare your neighbors. There's going to be mini games, new reactions. You can revisit dreams from a list. So if you want to revisit a dream that you've went to previously, it's going to be easier for you to do so. Uh, the Nook Link app is going to you're going to be able to use it to do reactions from your phone or wherever you're accessing the app from in the game. And there's going to be another free update in late November. So let me see
Same
the
stuff.
hype levels. How's it? What do you guys think?
I mean, I think it's exciting. I don't know, like I think the Animal Crossing lends itself to being like a really fun game to play during like holidays, certain holidays, because there's, different, little events or just like details that they add that make it kind of exciting. Um, I mean, the game I think has been um, it's kind of slowed down. Um, I think a lot of people, um, especially people who are not like hardcore fans, have kind of um, gotten tired of the game, maybe a little bit. Um,
Yes.
but with these updates, I don't know. I think it kind of freshens things up a little, and I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Just I saw a video and just like the furniture that you get to craft, um, and
Yeah,
being able to dress up, and celebrate Halloween. It seems to be pretty exciting. So looking forward to it. You get to grow your own pumpkins too, so that's exciting.
true. You know what would be kind of cool is if we kind of like get together and we just kind of like island hop. Like people just offer them people to like visit their islands and we just kind of do a trick or
Yeah,
treat kind of deal.
I wish the online experience, the online, game, uh, were a little more streamlined. Um, just because, to be able to connect to another island, it takes a while, like
It does,
you
it does.
you get that you know, cutscene of you flying over the island, and then it takes a little bit of lag for it to load, and then you finally arrive. It's what, like 2 minutes there. So, I mean, if it were a little more streamlined, um, I mean, that would be like a really fun thing to be able to do, just to like visit islands, like strangers' islands, and like trick or treat, that type of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But alas,
No game can be perfect, I guess. But yeah, I'll probably I anticipate getting into it more than I did with the was it the during was it August when there were the fireworks were popping off?
yeah, yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
It was,
in July?
it was
July, August? I don't remember.
no, I think it was August,
Oh,
but
August, right, right.
But
it was like a summer thing.
yeah, it was the July update or whatever though, right? Or I don't remember,
I don't
but
remember.
yeah, but I believe it was during August, and that was fun. And I anticipate the Halloween one being much more fun than that one.
Looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it, and looking forward to dropping it right after. Let's be real. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about some Tokyo Game Show 2020 details. So I'm getting these details from Adam Bankhurst from IGN. The Tokyo Game Show is going on from September 24th to September 27th, and there has been some cool little things that have been announced. Big little things. The first, I think the biggest thing that I found was Near Replicant. So Near Replicant is going to be, I don't know what it is. It's like I don't know if it's a remake, remaster, what it's going to be, but it's I would say it's a, I don't know how to classify it. It looks like a remake to me, but we'll see. Remaster? Remaster? Let's say it's a remaster. Near
Yeah, probably.
Replicant. Oh, what happened?
Yeah, probably a remaster.
Yeah, I think it's more of a remaster. Nier Replicant is going to be a sort of remaster for the original Nier, and it's going to be coming April 23rd, 2021. It makes the game look more in line with Nier Automata, and it looks pretty good. It looks good. And I've heard good things about Nier's story, the original Nier, so I'm actually interested in maybe picking
Maybe
it
check
up when it
that.
comes out. Yeah, so how I knew it was looking more like a Nier Automata, I looked at a video from VG Tech, and they had footage of the original Nier, and you can tell it was like a PS3 game, like a earlier PS3 game, because the movements were kind of stilted and PS3-ish. So
Yeah.
looking forward to that. So more Nier news. Nier Reincarnation is going to be a mobile game coming to the West. Um, we'll see how that pans out. Resident Evil Village is had more information released about it. It's being developed specifically for next gen and PC, but the developers are also looking to deliver the experience on Xbox One and PS4. Resident Evil Village will feature more exploration than 7, so players can experiment to figure out what works for them. So, Resident Evil Village, more of that. You guys excited for Village? Seeing how it's going to pan out?
Um, I mean, I'm excited to see what they add to the lore. I feel like Resident Evil has kind of lost its way a little bit in terms of just what exactly what story they're trying to tell us. Um,
Mm.
because one game it's a virus, but then it's a parasite, and then it's um, ghost, like supernatural ghosts. In Resident Evil 7, and now we have werewolves or what seems to be werewolves. So I mean, I don't.
Witches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to kind of lose the the premise of the overall story. Um, but I mean, Chris Redfield is in it. The OGs. So
Word.
we'll see what they do with his story. Um, I do see a lot of people happy at Chris at his design because a lot of people are saying that like he actually looks like Chris, unlike the Chris from the previous game. Which I mean, I don't know. I don't know why it was so different,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what that game brings. As far as playing it, well, I never played the the sixth one or the seventh one. Um,
Okay.
but I've seen gameplay here and there. Um,
I hear you.
but I mean that I'm really interested in that aspect, the whole exploration. Um, I mean that I don't know if they mean like more open world or if they mean like more options in how to um, get through the game. Um, but I mean, it's exciting to see what they bring, what they come up with. So we shall see.
Yeah. Well said. Also from the Tokyo Game Show, Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory is getting a playable demo in mid October, and I'm planning to play that demo to see if this rhythm game is what it is. I don't know. I'm kind of interested in it. I want to see what it's about.
Are you big on rhythm games, right?
Not necessarily, but I am. I'm interested in getting into one. Like I like music. I like rhythms. Combine them together with a game, dude. I'm pretty sure I'll be in.
Um,
Yeah. And I love the music in Kingdom Hearts, man. So that's the thing. And there was a new The Medium trailer. So The Medium was a game that was shown at Xbox's showcase a while back, and people were very up on it. I haven't seen the trailer myself, but supposedly they revealed some new characters and other things. So pretty cool stuff. And that's from Xbox, so they're revealing that in Japan for the first time. So I don't know. They're trying. They're trying to get that Japan enthusiasm going into their console.
And I mean, they need it. They kind of need it. So that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, so those were the some big details I got from the Tokyo Game Show so far. As I said, it's still going on, so there might be some more big stuff dropping, but we shall have to keep our eye out on it and see. And if something big came out of it that we haven't covered, we'll cover it next week.
Yes.
All right, guys. So the PS5 showcase. You know, we were supposed to be talking about this last week, but unfortunately, I couldn't get the podcast going on time because I'll out myself. I woke up late, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
We have a lot of stuff to talk about. You guys ready to dive into this?
Go.
All right. So this is how it went down last week. It was pretty hype. So these details I got are from Felicia Miranda from IGN. The first thing that was revealed was Final Fantasy 16. Final Fantasy 16 is a PS5 console exclusive. We're not sure if it's timed or not yet, and it's also coming to PC. The director and producer of Final Fantasy 14, Naoki Yoshida, is the producer of 16, coming from Ali Jones from Games Radar, which is very exciting. As you guys heard from me in the beginning, I am a big fan of 14, and knowing that he's a part of 16 makes me over the moon excited for 16. So, did you guys check out the trailer? Are you guys familiar with how 16 looks?
Yes. I saw the trailer.
What were your impressions about 16?
Honestly, watching it, I've never, I haven't played well, I played Final Fantasy 14, but before that, and like I haven't played any Final Fantasy game.
Boo.
I know it's one of those big franchises that I just didn't get into it. But I mean, I know that like the earlier Final Fantasy games, they were turn-based,
Yeah.
but now it's more of sort of like a third person. I mean, it's still an RPG, but it's more
Yeah.
third person. And like seeing this trailer, like I felt like the hype coming, you know. Yeah, I don't know if it was because of my excitement for the PS5, because a similar thing happened when they first showed up the PS5. I was
Mm-hmm.
excited for everything because, and it was the same thing this time around. I was excited for everything they showed, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that." But it really looked cool. It looked cool. Um, and what I was gonna say something else. Oh yeah, like just really quick, like regarding the whole exclusive thing. I feel like it's gonna be like a time exclusive, honestly.
I also
It's
think
gonna
so
be
too.
exclusive for like a couple of years, and then it's coming out on the Xbox or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's how it's
Yeah.
gonna work too.
But but yeah, I mean, it looks really really cool. They didn't really say much, um, like how far they developed the game. Uh, so who knows when we're gonna see like a date, like a release date. But yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely really interesting, really cool.
Yeah. So what's pretty cool about this one is that it's more of a medieval. They're talking about Final Fantasy Game of Thrones,
Right.
and that's kind of hype, man.
I know, right?
Final Fantasy hasn't gone to like that true like fantasy esque, since like Final Fantasy 9 had that. The older Final Fantasies had that, but it's been a while since that setting has been portrayed in a Final Fantasy, and you know, breath of fresh air, and it looks compelling. The trailer. The music
Mhm.
at the end, did that stick in your mind? Like, ah, dude. Oh man,
Yeah.
it's getting me excited. It's tickling my jammies. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I understand. But please refrain from using that kind of language.
Okay, yeah, I won't. I won't. I'll calm down.
But yeah, I mean, the music in Final Fantasy games have always been like a staple, you know.
Yeah,
I feel like so.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. Even though I could talk about it more, but we'll move on to the next thing. Spider-Man Miles Morales had a gameplay trailer, and here are some details about Spider-Man Miles Morales. Insomniac on Twitter confirmed that it will be launched alongside the PS5 and will be coming out also on the PS4. It will be $49.99, and there will be an Ultimate Edition for the PS5 for $69.99. The $69.99 one will include Marvel Spider-Man Remastered. Spider-Man Remastered will feature all the DLC that came out for the game, updated art assets, better looking characters, ray trace reflections and ambient shadows, more pedestrians and vehicles stretching further into the distance, an optional performance mode that will be offered in Miles Morales, and more. And those details I got from Sammy Barker from Push Square. And along with that, there was a little bit of controversy. Well, before we get into the controversy with the remaster, let's talk about Miles Morales first. What do you guys think about it?
Well, okay, so um, like I said, when they first showed up, the PS5 and the first Sony showcase,
Yeah.
uh, I saw the announcement of Miles Morales, and I was like, again, I was like feeling the hype for the game, even though I hadn't played the first one. Uh, So, I mean, it's really cool though that they announced that the Ultimate Edition for Miles Morales PS5 is gonna have the original game remaster,
Hmm.
Eh, and I'm thinking of getting the game because I really want to play the Spider-Man, the first game,
Right, right.
and having that option to play both in one copy of the game, it's really cool. Um, but yeah, I mean, the game looks really really it looks nice. Like they showed gameplay of it, like the combat.
Yes, sir.
And it looks it looks it looks good. I can't really say much about it. It's just cool.
Yeah.
And and I mean, Spider-Man, it's one of the biggest superheroes, if not the biggest superheroes out there. So, and being
Right,
able to
right.
play another version of Spider-Man, which is Miles, uh, it's really cool. I also saw like a lot of, I was looking at reaction videos, and a lot of people, a lot of Latino people were like getting emotional seeing Miles play. So that's really cool as well.
Huh. I didn't see that.
Yeah, to especially like Puerto Rican people, to
Hmm.
see Puerto Rican. What they showed Miles walking through like the streets of New York, and they were having like this. I think it was like a little carnival with with Latin music and the Puerto
Yeah.
Rican flag.
Right.
Well, I saw a couple of reactions where they were really emotional seeing that culture, you know, portrayed.
Now
So
you
that's really
gotta
cool too.
love it.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it makes you think. Like we you know we don't really get that much in games. So it's
Right.
really cool.
Right.
Well, yeah, the controversy surrounding the whole thing, it's a little messy. It's kind of it's a mess. It's
Yeah,
yeah.
let's go. We can go ahead and dig into it right now. We're already 53 minutes in, and we still have a bunch of stuff to talk about, so we gotta pick up the pace a little bit. Spider-Man remaster controversy. So I have some details from Chaim Gartenberg from The Verge. He says, or this is what was unveiled about the Spider-Man remaster. The remaster will be attached to Miles Morales Ultimate Edition. So if you want to upgrade it and not purchase Miles Morales, there's no way for you to do that. And also, your saves from PS4 will not cross over to PS5, and people are kind of upset about both of those things. So I would say the first thing is more egregious than the second thing, but
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, I don't see what's so hard about just charging $20 for people to get a remaster of their game on the PS5 or PS4.
All right. Yeah, it's it's strange because I mean I think people are racing it off because other games are doing like the whole upgrade uh, for free. As an
Mm-hmm.
update for the games.
Yeah.
So I think that that became like the staple, I guess. Their expectation. People expect to get their an upgrade for their games.
I hear that.
So I mean, I can see why, um, but I don't know. It's kind of strange because I also saw like another news that people were like, or well, I don't even know if it's news, but they were saying that you can't load your save data from the original game to
Yeah.
this or something.
No cross saves. Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of understandable, right? I don't know. I don't know if that's really controversial.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. I don't know. I'm like torn.
Yeah. I understand the cross save things because I'm pretty sure people just want to, they have everything unlocked and they just want to see how brilliant the PS5 one looks with all their costumes and all their abilities already in hand. So it's a little
Right.
annoying if that's what you're going for.
True.
But yeah, yeah. So I want to experience the whole story again because I think the game's that good.
That is true too.
Yeah. And then
Just play it.
all these improvements they're talking about, man, man, oh man. But yeah, um, I mean, from a business standpoint, like attaching it to Miles Morales, that's gonna sell more copies of Miles. But the cost of goodwill from the consumers is always the question to think about.
That is true.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go ahead and so for the rest of these, I'm gonna actually. Do you guys feel like about talking about Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy, like in depth?
No,
All
that's
right.
cool.
So I'm gonna go ahead and rattle off the rest of the games, and then if you want to talk about them or say a sentence or two, you may go ahead and do that. So Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy, an open world action RPG, they describe it as. Next game, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. We also got to see Resident Evil Village. They had a trailer. Deathloop gameplay trailer. DMC5 Special Edition. Oddworld Soulstorm. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Demon Souls. Fortnite. uh,
Or
Fortnite. PlayStation Plus collection. So this is kind of sort of an answer to Game Pass, but it's an additional perk added onto your PlayStation Plus. The games that you're going to get on from the PlayStation Plus collection at the moment as they announced it, what they have so far. I don't know if they're gonna add more to it. We have Batman: Arkham Knight, Battlefield 1, Bloodborne, Days Gone, Detroit: Become Human, Fallout 4, Final Fantasy 15, God of War, Infamous Second Son, The Last Guardian, The Last of Us Remastered, Monster Hunter World, Mortal Kombat X, Persona 5, Ratchet and Clank, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, Uncharted 4, and Until Dawn. It's going to be available on the PS5 through your PS Plus subscription. So I think that's a really good thing for people that didn't have a PS4, but are getting a chance to play all the big games that came out for the console.
yeah, people like me.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
A lot of,
definitely.
a lot of games.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a good deal. This is old news, but the prices for the PS5 and the PS5 Digital Edition are $4.99 and $3.99 respectively. It's going to be coming out on November 12th in US, Japan, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand, South Korea, and October 9th. And I keep saying October, November 19th for the rest of the world. And China's launch will be announced at a later date. And at the end, they revealed God of War Ragnarok is coming out in 2021. So some bangers that they revealed at that PS5 showcase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just really quick. The highlights of all those games. Demon Souls looks really, 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 really good. It looks really, looks like a pretty game. And so I don't know. It's one of those games that I'll keep my eye out for. It's a launch game, no? Demon Souls.
Yeah, coming out at
So,
launch.
yeah, so I think that's one of the games that really caught my eye. And, and then I guess Ragnarok. It's pretty cool that we get a sequel for God of War. And
Definitely.
the problem is I haven't played God of War, so
Same.
I need to do that sometime.
Yeah. At this
Um,
point, it's just kind of like, oh, go ahead, Jose.
I was just gonna say, as far as like the the games that were revealed, I'm actually really personally interested in Hogwarts. Uh, I mean, J.K. Rowling, questionable, but the world itself, um, I don't know. I think it looks really nice, and I don't think we've ever had a game. I think all the Harry Potter games that we've ever had have been based on the movies. So I think that does put a lot of limitations on, you
Mm.
know, the plot and the gameplay and what we're able to see from the world. So seeing this type of game where it's not necessarily tied to a movie, like it's just the Harry Potter world as it is, um, and you being able to explore that and experience that. I think that's really cool, and I'm really looking forward to it. If there's a game that makes me want to get a PS5, it's actually that one. No offense, no offense, Uh, and then just the selection of games that they're offering to people for the what is it, PS Plus.
Yeah.
Um, it's it's a really good selection of games. Like it's not like they're offering like some you know less known like you know what I mean, like more less relevant games for you to play.
Yeah, I understand what you
Like
mean.
these
Yeah,
are actually
definitely.
like these are like headliners, like really big games that came out for the PS4 that people are gonna get to play and experience.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool. Kudos to PlayStation for doing that. Um, and I mean the rest of the games they looked interesting. I actually did was able to watch some of the the showcase. And yeah, I mean it's exciting.
Yeah. Just as a side note, the Harry Potter game, according to their official website, is going to be coming out on current gen consoles as well. So you're not obligated to buy a PS5.
Oh really?
Yeah. So that's good news.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
Well, I don't know if it's going to be compromised, but we'll see.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So we also have to talk about Nintendo Direct, the Nintendo Direct Mini Partner Showcase that happened on the 17th. So similar deal, I'm gonna rattle off, even though I want to talk about these in more detail, and we don't have time. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
go ahead and rattle off the titles, and if you want to say a sentence or two about it, then we will. So these are the games that were in the Nintendo Direct Mini Partner Showcase: Monster Hunter Rise, Monster Hunter Stories 2, uh, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Monster Hunter Amiibo were announced. Fitness Boxing 2 Rhythm and Exercise, Disgaea 6, Disgaea 5, Complete, Baland Wonderworld, Rune Factory 5, The Long Dark, Hades, Empire of Sin, and Sniper Elite 4. So, out of all of those, you guys want to have a quick take about something?
Yeah, for me, it's like I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast. It's both Monster Hunter games, and yeah, we played Monster Hunter Generations on the Switch together, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, I've had experience with Monster Hunter. It's a really like you can get lost in time in the game,
Right.
like time just um, passes by when you're playing Monster Hunter. And and seeing this new Monster Hunter, like it's really, uh, I really like, especially like the aesthetic, the whole Japanese aesthetic,
I
and
hear you. Yeah.
I'm really like digging that, and it looks really really cool. From what I've heard from people who who are aware of um, the Monster Hunter games, uh, they say that it's sort of like a mixture of they're bringing in like stuff from World,
Mhm.
uh,
Mhm.
and they're making like it's like a mixture of all the Monster Hunter. So that's really cool. It does feel like it's the next installment of the franchise,
Right.
and so and it's coming to the Switch, and it's really cool to see that. So
Mhm.
so I'm really
Mhm.
excited to play that. And then Monster Hunter Stories 2, that game looks really pretty as well.
It
It,
does. Oh
it
my
looks,
gosh.
yeah. And that's like the first thing that caught my attention. That's why I wanted to try the first one. And then I heard it's an RPG, a JRPG, so
Right.
I really enjoy those. So uh, both of those games, like they look really good and really fun. So those two games are the ones that really caught my attention.
Yeah, that's the ones I wanted to talk about too.
Yeah,
Yo, the wire bug. Oh man, it looks like so much fun. Just grappling and
yeah, they're everywhere.
yeah.
And I like that they focus on like it's called Rise because they're focusing on like the verticality of the world, so you can
Mhm.
climb it, and that's really cool, you know. So I feel like people are gonna be spending a lot of time just exploring and hiking and grappling everywhere. So it looks fun.
Right. Yep. And just a real quick clarification, Disgaea 5 Complete, it is a trial, so it's a limited time trial for online Nintendo Online members, it seems, and it's going until the 29th. So if you want to hop on that, try out Disgaea. It's
That
pretty
game.
fun. It's pretty fun, yeah. But yeah, man, Monster Hunter Rise, March 26th, the March for me. The March for me. All right, so next story, we have Xbox acquiring Zenimax Media. This details I have from Ian Scher from CNET. Xbox dropped $7.5 billion to purchase
Capital B.
Zenimax Media.
It's
And
insane.
what this includes is Bethesda, id Software, Arcane Studios, and all the other studios under Zenimax Media. This means that Xbox has control over The Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Doom, Rage, Wolfenstein, Dishonored, and many more titles or franchises. This boosts Xbox's studios from 15 to 23. And supposedly or reportedly, Xbox is going to keep the leadership and structure intact for these studios. And Doom Eternal is on Game Pass now. This detail was from Tyler Lyles from The Verge, and it's going to be coming to PC later. So, how do you guys feel about this acquisition? I mean, I knew it was big, but I didn't really feel the weight of it yet. So, did you guys feel some type of way about it?
Um, and now like it's huge because I mean Bethesda is there's a lot of games from Bethesda that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of franchises like um, Elder Scrolls and Doom. Uh, eh, yeah, I mean Doom Eternal. We still need the Switch port. I don't know when it's coming. Uh,
Ha! I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Switch. Don't get mad at me.
but I mean, I feel like we're not gonna see like a big effect until later on. Um, but according to Phil Spencer as well, he did say that like the whole availability of games in each console is gonna it's gonna depend on a case by case basis. So
Hmm.
yeah, I highly doubt that we won't see Elder Scrolls or who knows? Actually, never mind. I'm not gonna say it. But I
Yeah.
mean, it's it's cool. Um, One of the things that, like, for example, who was it? Uh, I forgot his name. His last name is Heinz.
Pete
Uh,
Pete
he said that,
Hines.
Pete Heinz.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, he said that now with like Microsoft, they're gonna be they're gonna have like a higher budget to make their games look better and for them to run better and so on. So I mean that's pretty exciting, because a lot of games in Bethesda's lineup, like Fallout or even like uh, Skyrim and Elder Scrolls, sometimes
Hmm.
they do have a lot of bugs and
Yeah.
have performance issues. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that affects those games as well. So I mean, it's exciting for the games that are coming. But then we also get into like the whole, you know, because I remember like I started seeing like a lot of people like, oh, Sony should buy Capcom, and Microsoft should is gonna buy Sega, and Sony should buy Konami, and it's like, well, I mean, yeah, it'd be cool, but I mean, you start heading into like the whole monopolies in the whole video game industry, and that's
Yeah,
when
dude.
it gets like really, you know, complicated, and I don't know if it's good for the industry as a whole, but
Hmm.
it's cool for what it is right now. Hopefully, it doesn't lead to other corporations to make what's it called, like, crazy moves like that, like buying other companies and stuff like that. But we'll see.
Yeah, that's a sticky situation. I don't really want to get into that. And man, um, like a whole bunch of Xbox exclusives and then a whole bunch of PlayStation exclusives, and then people are just gonna be salty all year. I mean, we don't want that.
Exactly,
That's already happening right now with all that happening down.
exactly.
But yeah, um, yeah, I do hope Xbox is a good owner, and they do, let them do what they do well, and then push them into a good direction to make their games better, because they do have room for improvement, especially Bethesda. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right, so this is going to be our last big story for the week, and this was supposed to be covered last week, but again, we did not have a podcast last week. Super Mario 3D All Stars review roundup. So as of last week, Super Mario 3D All Stars had an 84 top critic average, and 88% of critics recommended it um, on OpenCritic. And here's a summary of how the reviews went. It says Super Mario 3D All Stars is what you'd expect, a phenomenal collection of some of the greatest of Mario's greatest 3D platforming hits. Though some critics felt that Nintendo could have put in a bit more effort, anyone who wants to enjoy these titles will not be disappointed. Their timeless classics over 10 years later, Nintendo shows that these three games have a truly timeless quality to them. Galaxy Updates is also a pro. Many critics noted that Super Mario Galaxy's update to HD resolution shines strong in the collection, and a detractor is the low effort remaster. Some critics wanted to see Nintendo put more effort into updating the visuals, controls, and the UIs. So that's a summary of what the the reviews kind of talked about. Do you guys feel the same way, or how do you feel about the collection itself?
Yeah, I probably feel the same way. All three games, uh, like they say, they're timeless classics, and you're gonna have a good time with them, regardless. But I do think that they could have done more. I think like the whole criticism around this game is the whole, do more, um, you know, put more effort into those remasters, I guess, or ports. And
Hmm.
but I mean, looking at the games themselves, they're they're pretty good. They're they're a good time, you know. So I think I agree with a lot of the criticism and the reviews.
Yeah, so do I. Um, that the shotgun spray in Sunshine feels nice, but it's just like Sunshine is still janky, man. Like that's everybody's just. I want people
Yeah,
to praise Sunshine, and everybody on Twitter and everything they just clown on it because it's kind of broken in some spots.
yeah,
So
I've seen
it
some
feels
videos
bad.
of some of the glitches and
See that's all you see, man. You don't see oh Sunshine's great, man. I'm having a
no,
really
but I
good
mean
time
I've
with it.
played
Like
the
look
game.
at how broken Sunshine is. Like come on, dog.
yeah.
No, I mean
Yeah.
like the game itself. It's I find it pretty fun. Um, and I mean you do have a point. Like I mean I feel like a lot of people are pointing those for clout. Like they know that it's gonna get attention, so
Yeah.
they point out those flaws. Um, but I mean I also feel like I mean they have a right to point those flaws out. Like it's not like it's unacceptable, you know, for a quote unquote finished product to be like that, you know. And if you're porting, you know, this version, I mean, you could have at least fixed some of those
I
flaws.
know.
So, I mean, I can see both sides of it.
Yeah.
I do feel like Nintendo, I mean, I feel like Nintendo showed themselves a little bit here, um, knowing, because they know that, I mean, it's gonna sell regardless, because it's Mario, and like some of those reviews mentioned, like these are classics, you know?
Yep.
So I feel like Nintendo knew that, you know, the minimum effort put into these games, I mean, it's not gonna matter because people are gonna buy them anyways. Which it sucks a little bit because I mean, it's like I don't know, like put some effort into it, you know.
Mhm.
Because you have, you know, like the Crash Bandicoot games, you have the Spyro games. Um, I don't
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
you're Nintendo, you know, this is Mario. Step it up. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah. But well, they got our money. They got some good reviews, so
Yeah,
chalk it up as a win.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
that's
I'm gonna keep playing it. I'm gonna finish. You know what, dude? The the GameCube controller, I tried it. It's abysmal. It's unplayable with the GameCube controller. It's not even about the not even being able to adjust the pressure. It's literally the button mapping is absurd. Like you can't play it that way, and you can't remap anything. So it's dumb. It's
Yeah.
super dumb. Yeah. All right. Well. Oh, but what a good thing that I'll end it on a good note. Having being able to play Galaxy again has been a treat, and do look forward to going back and playing that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the good things Luis has been saying about it, he's he's right.
Spot
Absolutely
on.
right. Yeah. It does make me dizzy though when I have to I feel like I need to turn my head on the more circular levels, but it is what it
Yeah.
is. Yeah. All right. So, are you guys ready for pass or play? No?
yeah. I'm ready.
Ye- all right, all right, all right. I also have one too. So, all right. So, how pass or play works? Some of us choose a quote from the back of a box of a video game. We present that quote to the rest of the panel, and the panel has to guess what that video game is if they can, and if they would pass on it or if they would play it based off of the description. So, I do have one. Do one of you have a game as well?
Yes.
Okay. So, once again, I'll go first, and then you guys will have the finale.
All right.
Okay. Or do you have a preference? Do you want to go first, second?
Um, I mean, I can go first if you want.
All right, I'll go first.
All right.
Okay. All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay. Here goes. An orphan of the universe. He has never known anything of his origins. With an alien tyrant driven by an unexplainable hatred for his species attacks their home, they are thrust into an epic adventure where they will discover that his past is the key to the galaxy's future. Combining dazzling visuals with all new gameplay and an epic storyline, this marks the beginning of a new saga and the debut of the best-selling Blank franchise on the Blank system.
Uh, the best-selling franchise.
The best-selling Blank franchise, so it tells you
Oh,
what the title of the game is on the system, so on the
yeah.
something system.
Huh. The first thing that came to mind was Star Wars for some reason, because it talks about an orphan who. But anyways,
There's Dolphins to Star Wars.
well, I mean, Luke Skywalker is kind of an orphan. Um,
Saga, I can see that too. They're like Saga universe.
yeah. Um,
You want me to read the first
I,
paragraph again?
yes,
Yes,
please.
please.
Okay. An orphan of the universe, he has never known anything of his origins. With an alien tyrant driven by an unexplainable hatred for his species attacks their home, they are thrust into an epic adventure where they will discover that his past is the key to the galaxy's future.
Well, first of all, I would play it. Um, I mean, based on that description, I think the premise of that game seems to be very, very interesting. Um, but I can't think of a game. I'm thinking of like a space game,
Yeah. Sorry.
um, but I don't really play.
Space, space games.
It's not Mass Effect.
They didn't have any gameplay, descriptions. So that could have helped you guys there, but alas, you do not have that luxury.
That's not, so. The best selling is getting like I'm trying to think like a huge game. Uh, I'll play as well, but I don't know what it is.
Okay, so I got two plays.
Yeah, I have. I don't have a guess either.
Okay. Do you guys have a guess on what system it might be on?
I'm thinking like a PS3 game for some reason.
I'm thinking of the Wii.
Really? What? The Wii?
All right.
PS3, but see, that's why I'm thinking of like PS3 best-selling blank game. I'm trying.
All right. So you guys want me to reveal what it is? We got two plays.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So the game in question is Ratchet.
Oh my God.
Ratchet and
Like
Clank: Future Tools of Destruction.
that came to mind.
Ratchet and
Like
Clank.
I was thinking of Ratchet and Clank, but I'm like, I don't really know much about that series. Who's the orphan there? Ratchet?
Ratchet's the orphan. Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't know about that. Okay.
Yeah. So this game, Jose, you were spot on. It came out on the PS3. It was like one of the launch titles, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
And
Really?
this game is still beautiful to this day, and it plays phenomenally. So I'm excited for you guys to try out Ratchet and Clank whenever you guys are able to.
It's fine. Just kill.
That's hype. Shout out to Ratchet and Clank.
Some Ratchet. Um, okay, so I am gonna omit some words, just so that it doesn't give it away.
Show enough.
Okay, so here I go. Lead your country to victory. As a heroic commander, blank, lead your small platoon to defend your country against the Empire's invading enemy forces. With blank, a powerful ancient race in the ranks, the massive army must be defeated with elaborate strategic maneuvers and action-packed real-time combat.
That sounds like Valkyria Chronicles. That sounds like
So,
Valkyria Chronicles. Oh, Please tell me it's Valkyria Chronicles. The Empire. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to that. I'm gonna stick to Valkyria Chronicles. Which one is it? It's probably the original one, and I'm gonna play
Okay.
it.
I agree. Can you repeat that again? The whole thing? Yeah, please. Lead your country to victory. As the heroic commander blank, lead your small platoon to defend your country against the Empire's invading enemy forces. With blank, a powerful ancient race in their ranks, the massive army must be defeated with elaborate strategic maneuvers and action-packed real-time combat.
Luigi's perplexed.
I feel like it's so obvious.
You gonna throw me
Like,
for a loop, man?
no, I don't. I was thinking of Hyrule Warriors, but nah.
Oh.
Then I thought of a Fire Emblem. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know
I
if
thought about that too.
I don't know what it is, but I'll play. It's probably a Fire Emblem game. Okay, so two plays, and you think it's Ray thinks it's what is it, Valkyria Chronicles, and you think it's a Fire Emblem
Oh, I lost. He doesn't even know how to pronounce it right off the bat. Damn
game.
it.
Okay, so the game is you were actually right, Ray. Valkyria Chronicles.
Woo! That plot was just too on point, man. And I just played it a couple days ago. That intro. Oof.
Um, I chose this game because I haven't played it personally, but it's always been a game that um, kind of like when we would go to the stores and like look at the games, that game was always there, and I always wonder like what the game was or like what type of plot it had. Um, and I mean, reading the description when I was choosing the game, it looks really interesting. It does remind me of like a Fire Emblem type of um, game. I don't know if it is,
Mm.
but I'd be interested in playing that. Um, and it's the original one as well. It's the original game. So
Yeah, I was on point, bro. Oof. Yeah,
got it.
got him. So how Valkyria Chronicles plays is that everything, the UI, the main UI is like a journal, and then you kind of go through the journal as the story progresses, and you click on certain sections. So one section will be like a cutscene, and then the next section will be an episode where you have to fight in a battle. And then how the battle works is that yeah, I can give you a preview. So how the battle works is that you get an overview of the map, and then you have different units, like you have tanks and you have soldiers, and then you choose the one that you want to commandeer, and then the camera shifts to third person, and then in third person you move your character in real time, and then you move to where you want to go, either behind cover or out in the open, or behind a building or whatever, and then you aim. So when you aim, uh, kind of the action kind of stops, and then you get a chance to aim where you want to aim and take who you want out, and it's really fun, really fun gameplay. The battles take like around 30 minutes or so. So
Mhm.
yeah, depending how good you are, it can be it can be less, like 15 or whatever. But
Oh,
yeah, and what's cool is that every person that you have on your team, you're gonna know intimately, kind of like Fire Emblem. Not in, like you're gonna get close to them, and you're gonna care about if they die or if they, you know. Damn, it is kind of like Fire Emblem, bro. You gotta try it out. Yeah, it's good.
yeah, I feel like I might like it based
Yeah,
on
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. It's on the Switch. Like on the PS4, there's a remastered version that's like $8 right now. That's why I bought it, and it has all the DLC, and you get 60 frames per second, which is nice. Man, like every time I do one of these podcasts, I feel like I'm selling you guys on a game that's on sale on the PlayStation Store. All
We should
right.
tell you.
Yeah. All right. So that's gonna do it for our podcast. We have been Roll Jump Media. We make these podcasts every week, and we also do other content. We post these videos on YouTube, and we also make other videos, and we also stream on Twitch. So if you want to follow us there, all the links are going to be in the description. You can follow us on our social media as well. Um, Thank you very much for watching, as always. And before we sign off, do any of my panelists have something to say?
Thanks for tuning in.
All right. Sums it up pretty well. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next time.